Hello everyone, this is Erik from Etiquette and welcome to another Sunday live stream on the Etiquette channel. So everyone, my name is Erik and every Sunday at this time I have a live stream and you are welcome to join and ask any questions or share any experiences. So if you're there, just say hello, say where you're from, and then we'll get started. Well, yeah, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Erik and I'm a teacher in South Korea. And I run this Etiquette YouTube channel where I share some tips and ideas on teaching. And I also focus a little bit on Zoom. Now, what's interesting is that, yeah, this week my classes start up again. So I'm going to have to get back to work and start teaching again. And we've got our first viewer, Jingjing. Hi, good to see you. Nice to have you back. I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm a little bit nervous because classes are starting this semester, so I need to be ready. Carlos, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Ashwani, welcome back. I'm doing well. Yeah, it's a good evening. Actually, I have to confess that I was very lazy today. Last night I went to bed, I was exhausted from traveling and meeting friends. So today I just relaxed. I did very little. So at least I have the live stream to chat to you guys. Bouchera, hi from Morocco. Oh, I think Morocco is one of the countries I really want to visit. And I know I say this probably in every stream, so you guys don't believe me. But, you know, every time I see a country's name, I kind of get this image of, you know, an experience that I would like to have. And I've definitely got that with Morocco. Saida from Pakistan. Hi, how are you doing? Ashika, I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Yes, I'm starting my classes this week. So I've got to prepare all my my introductions, some PPTs, and I've just got to introduce the topic to my students, tell them exactly what I want from them. I think that that first day that you meet your students is very important because, you know, that's you've only got one chance at a first impression. So you've got to be friendly, but you've also got to tell them and instruct them what you expect from them for the rest of the semester or the rest of the year or however long you're going to see them. You've got to talk about the procedures, the rules, and what they can expect in the class. Wow, everyone's joining so quickly. Marissa from Canada. Wow, Canary Islands. Hi, Marissa. It's good to have you. You're also a teacher, right, Marissa? Ariza Gonbanwa Sensei. Arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, good evening to you too, Ariza. I'm trying to think what Japanese I know. Konnichiwa. And Carmen, hi from Peru. Carmen, how are you doing? Lima is the capital. How many people in Lima? I think I saw this one graph of Peru, and it's such a long country. Ping, hi, good evening, Erik. Have a great Sunday to everyone. See, guys, this is what I really like about this. About our group here is that, you know, I feel like I'm just here to talk and you guys can talk and get to know each other too. So actually, I'm going to talk about this a few times tonight, but, well, it's tonight for me. But in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to do a Zoom live stream and everybody is welcome. I tried to do it a couple of months ago, but not too many people were interested, so I canceled it. Now, in 2 weeks, I plan to have a live Zoom meeting. Everybody is welcome. You can send me your email. I will send an email back to you, and I will send you the link for the Zoom meeting. So I will plan it for the next 2 weeks, and 2 weeks later, it will be the... Wait, 2 weeks later? No, when's my birthday? No, it'll be 3 weeks later. So the 20th of March, I plan to have the live stream. And Ping, everyone here, you're so welcome. Shad from Libya. Wow, I'm not sure I had a guest from Libya before. Shad, hi, how are you doing? Ashwani. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have any questions or you want to share anything, you're more than welcome to put it in there. Sujong, hi, how are you doing? Chalchineo. Have you rested well this weekend? Seda, fine, sir. I am Indian, Ashwani. Yes, you are. I remember from last time. Ashwani, are you doing well? And here's my dad. My dad says hi from the Western Cape. My dad's been working very hard. He does a lot of live classes, online classes too. Beatrice, hi from Peru. Hi, Beatrice, you're also from Peru. Are you from Lima or are you from another city? King, we're getting back to school here in Malaysia as well. I'm pretty excited since it's been almost a year with virtual teaching. I hope your lessons will go well and smoothly. Yeah, the fun thing about teaching is, you know, it's like any other skill. Maybe you are a little bit rusty at the start, maybe you're a little bit nervous, but if you've got experience, you know what will happen, you know what to expect. And it's the same for the students too. I feel like the students are very nervous because they're not sure what the teacher's going to be like. They don't know what's expected of them. So if you go in there, obviously you're also going to be nervous, but you have to be the leader. You've got to tell them, listen, this is how things are going to work. Now, King, so you say you've been doing virtual too. You've been doing it online. Yeah, it's the same with us. We're going to. I did online the first semester last year, and then we moved back to face-to-face classes. Now this year, our students have the option of doing face-to-face classes or online. Now, obviously, I don't want a mixture of two. I don't want hybrid classes like that. I would either like to do all the classes face-to-face or all the classes online. Otherwise, it's really difficult to coordinate with the students. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited to start sharing the ideas and some games and activities and things that I find useful in the class. I would really like to share it with you. Let's go through this, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please put it in there. So, where are you from? I'm from South Africa, but I'm teaching in South Korea. Carmen, 10 million living in Lima. Okay, wow, that's a big capital city. Wow. Salma, how are you doing? I see you've changed your name a little bit. Are you doing well? Carlos, I remember. Okay. Betty, hi, Betty. I'm Crystal from South Korea. Hi, Crystal. Crystal, where do you live? Actually, I live in Daegu. This past weekend, I went up to Seoul to go meet some friends, but usually I stay around Daegu. Anna, how are you doing? She says, hi, good evening, Erik. Hello, everyone. Actually, Anna, before you ask anything, I know what you're going to ask. I was sitting down and I was going through my book, just checking up some things. And then I remembered, like 5 minutes before starting the stream, I remembered, didn't I make a promise to study the Cyrillic alphabet? And then I was like, oh, Anna's going to start calling me out. So I went online and I started looking at it. So I did not study before you bring it up. I'm so sorry. Marissa, yep, EFL teacher, my email for Zoom, Marissa. Okay, Marissa, I'm going to leave a link in I'll post it and then I'll send it so then you can send me your email. You can email me and I'll email you the link back. So I will put it on there. Beatrice, let's see. I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to play some games. We're going to get to know each other. I'll ask you some questions. You can talk to me. I'm really looking forward to. We'll do it maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. I'm thinking March 20th. That's 3 weeks, right? So 3 weeks later, we will do it. And it's right around my birthday. And also, I would really like to chat with some of you. Well, all of you. You're also in Lima. Okay, Beatrice, welcome. Ashika, hi from Nepal. Hi, Ashika. How are you doing? Sujong, I'm fine. Jaljineo. So Jaljineo in Korean is just I'm doing well. Fukito, hi. Sorry about that loud noise that I just said. Happy to stay with this beautiful community today. Let's practice. See, Fukito, you get down to business. You're like, Erik, it's not just you talking about stuff. We need to talk about things that are useful. 100% agree. Guys, if you have any questions or anything you want to share, put it in the comments. So this week, what did I do? I worked a little bit this week, obviously preparing for my classes. I shot some videos. I'm going to, what am I going to do? Yeah, I still need, today I didn't do anything, but this week I need to finish up with my series, and then I'll shoot you some new videos. If there are any videos or any videos that you would like to see, please let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas for things you want. Hicham, hi from Morocco, another Moroccan. Hi. Vasily, hi from Belarus. Hi, Vasily. It's good to see you. Camilo, how do you handle speaking with beginner students in English? Okay, so the thing is with beginner students is you want to gain their trust. You want them to feel comfortable with you. So you've got to create an atmosphere where it's fun, it's interesting, they can get to know you, and most importantly, they should learn and practice the language. Now, how do you handle speaking with them? Speak very slowly and very clearly. When you speak with them, make eye contact, smile, let them feel at ease. Also, if you ask them a question, also give them enough time to respond. A mistake many teachers make with beginners is they ask a question, and before they give the student enough time, or they don't give them assistance by giving them some hints, they move on to the next student, which is a big problem, because now that student feels like, oh, if only I had more time, I could have answered, and now they feel bad. So you want to build up their confidence. You want to make them feel comfortable in your class. So speak slowly, clearly, make eye contact. Ask them lots of easy questions at the start. Think of it as building their confidence. So if I meet my beginner students, I'm going to check what their level is. I'm going to ask them some easy questions. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from? Or what did you, if they answer well, so let's say I say, hi, what's your name? And immediately they say, they say their name, or my name is, and then I'm going to follow it up and check something else. How is your day? How are you today? I'm fine, thank you. And then I could ask them, what did you do last weekend? So I'm checking, if they can talk about past experiences. Then I can ask them about their favorites. So basically, when you meet your new students, you want them to get comfortable with you. You want to raise their confidence, and you can only do it by giving them an opportunity to prove themselves. Okay, so I hope that helps. That's very good. Uyanga, hello, handsome teacher. Thank you so much. Actually, finally I've got a light up here, but it's shining down. So I feel like all my lines are just being shown. Thank you, Uyanga, though. Tonight I'm going to go to bed and say, oh, somebody called me handsome tonight. I'm going to sleep so well. Salma, thank you for asking. I'm well. Salma, I'm so happy to hear that. Deepak, namaste. Namaste from Nepal. It's good to have you. Oh, Deepak, there are some really good Nepalese restaurants in Korea. I'm really in the mood to go and eat at one. Iksan, good evening, sir. I'm an ESL teacher, and I love watching your videos. It really helps me a lot. Thank you so much, Iksan. I feel like, there are so many videos that I would like to make, and videos that I would like to remake. So I constantly ask the audience, the community, what they would like to see. I've got a couple of videos coming out about teaching online or online tips. But now that I'm going back to the classroom, and now that I'm going back to the classroom, I can practice some new things and see what works and what doesn't work. And if you have any questions, if you would like to see any videos, please put it in the comments below. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining. I just wanted to put it in there before I forget. Joe Karajapi, my question is, during quiz or test time, how do we organize our pupils so they won't be cheating? Thanks. Okay, so it's a great word, vigilate. We used to call it invigilation, or that's checking the students while they are writing tests. So obviously you want to create space in between your students. They have to be behaving very well, so you've got to be a lot more, you've got to be strict with them. You've got to say, listen, no talking, no looking around. you know, if I do feel like you're cheating, I'm going to take your paper away. You're going to get 0. I'm going to be watching you. So first of all, you've got to warn them. You've got to tell them, listen, you've got to be on your best behavior. And if I suspect anything from you, you know, it's going to be really bad for them. So really warn them about what you want them to do. Tell them the rules of the classroom. Then you're going to put some space in between them. You know, sometimes, you know, if there is space in the class, you know, put a barrier in between them or some space. And then, yeah, you've just got to, and then you hand out, make sure they don't have anything on their desks except their pencils. Then you hand out the papers. Make sure the students start at the same time. Don't hand them the papers and then say, okay, well, you know, you can start as soon as you receive it. Then when they start, you want to walk around and watch them, right? And if someone has a problem, they can raise their hands, but be mindful to always check up on them. Instead of, I'm just thinking about this. I haven't had this problem before, you know. But if students are doing something, you know, it's not good to stop everyone during a test. So perhaps if you feel like a student is doing something bad, go up to the individual student and give them a talk, or you can just write something on the board so that they know, oh, you wrote their name down, so oh, they're in trouble. And the other students, maybe they see that too, and they go back to work. So that's maybe a non-intrusive way of telling the students what you want. I hope that helped. Yeah, so just put space in between your students, put something in, and tell them that they have to be on their best behavior, no talking while the test is there, right? And you can even tell them that once the test is, if they're finished with their test, lie down on their arms. That way, no cheating. Dream time. Hi, hello everyone. Hi, dear teacher Erik from Kyrgyzstan. Hi, Dream Team. I really like that. You say hello to everyone and then to me. You know, like I said, I'm just here to connect everyone together. It's all about you guys talking and having fun. Jingjing, hello from Philippines. Hi, good to have you. Anna, I'm fine, thank you. I know that it was a very busy week for you. Yeah, Anna, it's always, you know what? It's always busy. But when I go over my time, I think what I would like to do is I'd like to be more in control over what I do with my time. You know, I had a very good week last week with going to the gym. I went almost every day. And there are things that I'm very happy with that I did. Also, I practiced some cooking, which was nice. But then I feel like I wasted a lot of time by procrastinating. If I can, you know, if I can stop myself from procrastinating, I think I could get more done. And it's also, I think it's also a skill that you train. You know, if you can practice being on time with all your chores and things that you want to accomplish during your day, you will be more productive, and you will, in the end, you will be more successful. I feel it's like a muscle you're training. And even though it's difficult at the start to get over procrastination, if you constantly do that, it will become easier. Well, that's what I tell myself. Vasily, Erik, what else platform can you recommend for online group games? Now that I'm using Bamboozle and Jeopardy, what else can you recommend? Perfect question, Vasily. Actually, this Tuesday's video, I'm going to share my video this Tuesday, is all about wordwall.net. It is very similar to Bamboozle, where you can create games. It's very similar to Bamboozle in that aspect, but you can create a game and it changes it to many different formats. It's very simple to use. Also, you know, they can take a game that you have and it can change it into perhaps some papers that you can print, some printables. So I would definitely recommend trying out wordwall.net to create online activities for your students. It can be online, or if you've got a projector or you've got a computer or online, an interactive whiteboard, you can use that in the class as well. It's very useful. So wordwall.net, I made a video. It will come out this Tuesday. Mario, hola. How are you doing, Mario? Room alone. Hi, Erik. That's an interesting name. Room Alone. Ah, okay, let's go through. How far am I behind? No, I'm okay. I'm just 5 minutes behind. Anna, could you recommend any good scientific site where it's possible to find some research on English teaching? I was looking around for some sites. I was looking for some information. Now, when I was studying, I used a lot of Erik. Have you looked it up before? That is like also a scientific journalism site. I think it's called, yeah, it's just called Erik. Yeah, Education Resources Information Center. It focuses on education, but there should be some specific papers on English teaching too. I saw some others too, but Erik is the one that I can think of right now. So it's a strange coincidence, isn't it? Right? Okay, so definitely check out Erik. Jingjing, I learned a lot from your video on differentiation. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got you know what? I made a lot of videos in the past where I wasn't as clear, or I didn't really explain things well, or my video editing skills weren't very good. So I want to go back and do a few more videos to explain things clearer or share more activities based on something. But yeah, no, I enjoyed that video. I would like to do some more videos like that in the future. We'll see what we can do. Rabin, can you tell me an interesting topic to discuss for adult students without politics from Kolkata? An interesting topic. Well, actually, so you guys know that I'm busy with the series. So the series is basically 52 topics in English. And basically, it's got, what I did was I've got 52 topics, and I made 10 questions for student A, 10 questions for student B. And that's an easy way where you take this paper, you copy it, you cut it into, you give it to two students, and the two students ask each other questions. It's very easy. Now let's quickly see, what topics do I have in there? Some interesting topics. Let's see. Fashion, dating, marriage, no. Goals, problems, and stress, I think, is a really nice thing for adult students. You know, you want them to share a lot about their lives and things that they're interested in. So yeah, you can let them talk about what are their future goals, what are some problems or stresses in their lives, and how can they fix it. You can talk about, you know, some advice, you know, if they have problems, how to give advice. You can talk about the environment. Social media is very interesting, where you ask them about what apps do they use, or what are some good experiences they've had with social media. Do they think it's good? Do they think it's bad? So you can use social media for a lot of that. And you can also do something fun like, how do you? So the great thing about adult students is they've got this vast amount of experience in many things. So if you can ask them to be an expert in something, so tell your students, tell them this. Everyone, I want you to think of something that you are very good at. It could be a skill. It could be anything. What is something that you can teach us? So they write down maybe one or two ideas, and then you tell them, you go through, you ask them what they are an expert at. Then you tell them, okay, I want you to quickly figure out how to teach that to someone. So let's say you are a teacher of, let's say the skill is playing piano, right? They're a really good pianist. I want you to teach someone how to play piano. How would you teach someone to do that? Or let's say it's cooking. You know, how would you teach someone how to cook an omelet? Okay. How would you do that step by step? Then, because they feel so confident in that skill and they're the expert, you can use that in a few ways. They can do a presentation to the class. First, do it in like 2 minutes. Okay. Or they can be asked questions about it. You put them into smaller groups, and everybody asks the expert questions. They write down some questions they can ask, and they ask the expert some questions. Or you can have you put them into groups, and that expert has to teach everyone in the group how to do it, and they take turns. I think that's the fun way to do it, because that way the students get to know each other too, and they basically, it will take some time. It also frees you up to walk around, because the problem with presentations is you've got one student and a whole classroom. One student at a time speaking takes up too much class time. So what I like to do is, if they have to do a speech like that, perhaps put them into smaller groups. That way they can work together. You can even, but when they're in groups, you can do more. You can say, okay, if someone is doing a speech, or they're teaching you how to do a certain skill, I want everyone in the group to ask them a question. So there are lots of interesting things. When they are finished with that, they come back and they can share their experiences. So yeah, I think lots of interesting topics that you can do with adults. But what you mainly want them to do is share their lives, share their experiences. Let them come from a place where they are confident and do it. It's something I tell other teachers too. So if teachers are very nervous about teaching, I would tell them, I would ask him, what is something that you're very good at? You know, what is something that if while you are doing that, you feel very powerful and strong, you feel like you are the best in the world or the best in the town? And they would usually tell me something. And then I say, okay, well, when you go and teach and you're nervous, I want you to don't be nervous. Start imagining yourself doing that skill that you're very confident in, and then use that confidence when you're teaching. And it's the same when they are learning English. You want them to feel powerful, energetic, and share their experiences with the rest of the classes. Yeah, sorry guys, I've just been ranting a little bit. I hope it works. Yeah, if you have any questions, just put it in the comments below. I see I'm about 10 minutes behind. Okito. One of my students is my sister, older than me. She never does homework. As if she thinks to herself, you are not going to tell me what to do. That seriously annoys me. She is not advancing. Well, that's an interesting one for Keto. I'm trying to imagine me having to teach my older brother something. They are so stubborn. Older siblings, you know that you are an expert at something, and unless they trust you and unless they follow your advice, they won't improve. And that's basically what you're saying, how to get someone that knows you to improve. Well, for Keto, let's think about that. I think it's going to be somewhat similar to teaching someone that is older than you, right? I think instead of taking it personally, right? Instead of them not doing homework, and you being angry at them, you're going to want to manipulate them. You're going to want them to do the things because it's interesting, or because if they don't do it, you don't want to come from a negative place, like say, oh, because you're not doing your homework, you are failing, you have to listen to me. That will have a negative response from your older sister, or from older students that have that problem. What you want to do is you want to say, oh guys, so my older sibling, let's say the homework, what is the homework? Maybe some grammar exercises. Let them take responsibility. So let's say you give them grammar homework. You say, Lister, sis, and class, you have to take this grammar homework, do it for tomorrow. She doesn't do it. The next day she comes in. Then instead of being angry at her, it's like, oh, you know what? Start praising the other students around her. And then say, oh, you didn't do the homework? Oh, that's too bad. Who can help her, right? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so what? And then you use another example for her to regain your favor. So you want to start being manipulative with your older sister. Instead of being angry, start, putting her in a place saying, oh, these other students are doing really well. And then you go back to her and you try it again. And then you can say, oh, it's because you guys were doing your homework, right? Did the homework help? Yes. And then you go back to your sis. You're like, sis, you know what? I think the homework really helped them. You're falling a little bit behind. Try and do a little bit of homework. The next class, if she still didn't do it, just go back and you're like, you know what, that's these other students are really going faster. I care about you, but I can't be angry at you. You're my older sister, but I really want you to try. I don't know, you're going to have to try. So I think as teachers, we need to try these different methods of getting the best out of our students, regardless if they're family or not. But yeah, no, if I had to teach my older brother, it would also be very difficult. So stubborn. Okay, I hope that helps for Keita. I'll think about it a little bit more, about some more strategies. So that's just something that I thought out at the top of my from the top of my head. Iksan, actually, sir, I'm having trouble with my adult student, especially free conversation sometimes. I'm getting confused about what to ask them or what topic we should discuss. Okay. This is really tough. This is really tough. So here's the thing. I do a lot of these classes. We have these classes called ESC, where I basically go in the class and students come in. I don't know what their level is. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how long they're going to stay. I don't know how many there will be. So often I go into the class with an idea of a topic, and the students come in and it's just talking. Imagine you have to have a conversation with someone for an hour and a half. And it's scary because we as teachers, we want to be in control of what the students are doing. For me, I love, and I teach you guys too, I love to have step-by-step ways of doing something. I've got my start of class activity, I've got some work that we do, and then some practice and this. But if you're just doing free talking, it can be very intimidating. And it's almost like a date. Have you ever been on a date where you sit with the person and it's like you ask them the normal questions and stuff, and then you start looking around and it's kind of scary? First of all, I want you to do something a little bit different. I want you to stop worrying about it. I want you to prepare for your class, write down the topic that you have, but when you go in, start talking with them. And then if it's a topic, let's say it's a topic like you're talking about, the food. So what's your favorite food? Oh, my favorite food is Korean food. Yeah. Then you're going to want to, you can lead them. You're going to say, oh, yeah, my favorite food is Moroccan food, right? So, I had this experience of going to Moroccan restaurant, and I had this really good food. How about you? So I'm basically being a role model for them to continue speaking. I'm giving them, I'm using my own experiences to talk about it. And instead of getting stressed and instead of just having an interview type questions, ask a question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Rather have a conversation where you ask them a question, they answer, and then you show them how to ask a question, and then ask them about their experiences. So you said your favorite food is Korean. What is your favorite dish? Tell me about a time that you had a really good Korean food at a restaurant, right? And then maybe they say, oh, I went to a restaurant with a friend and we ate this. And then you say, oh, well, oh, really, your friend. So, start trying to have a conversation. Get them to talk about their experiences. And then when they mention things in their experiences, start thinking, oh, what questions can I ask them about that experience? The who, what, why, when, where, so always build on that. And I think if you have some students, it is very intimidating trying to keep their attention and asking a lot of questions. So yeah, instead of that, try and make it more into a conversation where you share some of your experiences and then they can follow. I don't know if that helps. That's just something I've been thinking about. Room alone. So Erik, do you have any ideas to teach English for hospitality effectively by Zoom? Thanks in advance. Yeah, English is very important for the hospitality industry. Lots of students need to practice their English if they work at hotels or restaurants, or they work in the service industry. So for those kind of lessons, you really want to focus on role playing. So I think what you have to do online is try and get the students to do a lot of role playing. One person is trying to book into a hotel. Let them role play it with a friend and then switch. or with you, you know. What I like with Zoom is you're able to put the students into breakout rooms. So what I would do is, if I've got a group of students, I would say, okay, I'm going to put you with a partner. I'm going to put you into a breakout room, and I want you to practice ordering food, and one person is the waiter, right? And then practice it and switch. When you come back to the class, I want you to do it in front of the class, right? If you use Zoom, right? So then they come back to the main room, and now they can do it in front of the class. If there are too many students, then maybe you're just going to pick a few. But this is really effective when teaching with Zoom. It's something that I like. Sujonga. So Erik, Sujong, is the beginning of the new semester in South Korea. How can young learners learn well in an EFL environment? Wow, such a good question, Sujong. Yeah, it's the start of the new semester. My classes are starting on Tuesday because March 1st is a public holiday. With young learners, learn well. Well, like I said before, you want to make, especially with young learners, you want to create a fun environment where they can feel safe to speak English. You know, students will also, you know, they tend to tease each other too. So what you want to do is you want to make it easy for them to talk, and you want to get them to practice with their friends. So from the very first day, you've got to show them how they are going to work in class. So the very first day, you're going to put them with a partner to practice some words or expressions or something in English. So they feel, oh, I'm practicing it with this partner. And then let them do examples in front of the class. Not in front of the class, but let them practice speaking out loud too. So for example, if you're in the class, get into the habit of asking them questions and letting them answer in English. One of the biggest problems with younger learners in Korea when they're learning is they are very shy to use English, and they revert to Korean. From that very first class, you want them to start speaking in English. Even if it's just a one-word answer, start building their confidence. And in my classes, the students have to answer me and try and get them, and I want them to try and use full sentences too. So there's an expectation from you as the teacher onto your students to practice and speak in class. I hope that helps. Yeah, just remember and have fun, you know, play games, make it interesting for the students, but remember to make it safe too, because don't let things get out of hand and students fight and, you know, tease each other. That's not good. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Ping! Let me read this. It was a very productive week for me. I attended a seminar on how to interact with disabled people. I learned what words to say or not to say. Also, things that we can do and must not do. Ping, that sounds so interesting. Yeah, I can imagine, you know, you've got to remain sensitive to their needs. And, you know, perhaps there are certain ways that you've got to interact with them. Very productive. Wow. Working with disabled people. Is that just disabled students, or is that like adults in general? If you work, you know, let's say if you work somewhere with disabled people. Ping, very proud of you for being productive, and it sounds so interesting what you were doing. Robin says, involve them in different activities. Definitely. I think that's very important with classes. Students get bored, so so the thing is, if you're going to play a game with them, don't play it too often. Mix it up. Play different games. The only difference is where you do activities where the students can share experiences, and, you know, group activities where they create a project, or they do a role play or something like that, where the content is changing. So with games and activity, that's, you want to change the activity. But if you have these group sessions with students, or pair sessions, the content will change what they're talking about. So that's okay. Gisela, hello everyone. Learning apps can be a good site. Learning apps. Okay, I'll write that down. Where's that pencil of mine? Learning apps. Yeah, actually, so I told you guys that 2 videos that I will work on in the future is You asked me for how to motivate students, and what was the other one? There's two I wrote down. How to. Anyway, I'm right. I wrote it down. I'm actually busy with it. I can't remember what it is, but how to motivate students and something else. And I think I will look at this one. Learning apps. Sounds interesting, Gisela. Thank you. Hadi, hello, Mister. Hi, Mario. I was a little confused in the last video released about inattentive students in the class. I was even unanswered. Okay, yeah, I remembered, Mario. So I was a bit confused with that one. So in my Tuesday video, I made a question. The last video I made is English instruction, classroom instructions in English. So words or expressions that we as teachers can use with students. And then you ask the questions about students that aren't paying attention. I think I'll have to check in the video, but I think I said something about, so when you speak with the students that are not paying attention, you can ask them, guys, please pay attention. I want you to focus on your work. You can also warn them with some time. You can say, okay, everyone, you've only got 2 minutes left. I really want you to get in there. That kind of gets them ready to do it. Maybe I didn't put it in there well enough. Is that what you were asking, Mario? I will go back and check your question because I wasn't exactly sure what you were asking or how I could answer, I mean. Okay. Anna, Erik, yes, thank you. I visited the site, Erik. Yes, it is really nice. Concerning procrastination, if there were competitions, but no way, Anna. Anna is one of the people that I think she's very busy. She's very focused, but I think, our struggle isn't with comparing ourselves to other people. If I compare myself to someone like Elon Musk, I will lose 100% of the time because he's on a completely different level. Who I want to compare myself with is me, right? So if I compare myself to Erik, that is very productive and very good, I know what I'm capable of. And, the reason I feel bad is because I'm not reaching those standards that I am capable of reaching. And then for you, if you compared yourself to, you only have to compare yourself to yourself. But I think, if you compared yourself to other people, you're actually doing really well. You're studying, you're working towards many great goals. So try and be proud, be a little bit more patient with yourself and give yourself credit. So for me, I'm very angry at myself for being lazy and messing up. But then when I think about it, I think there are some goals that I'm actually reaching. Perhaps I'm not reaching them as quickly as I would like, but I will eventually get there. Am I late? Oh, I'm 20 minutes late. I'm so sorry, guys. Robert Powell, thank you. Great suggestions. How far? Okay. Alpha, I'm sorry I missed this. Let me quickly go here. Alpha, you're in timeout. I missed that. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that. Where am I? Luza Ang, good morning. I'm Luza from Colombia. At the moment, I'm working with 3 adult students. We are working on a reading, listening, comprehension. Oh, that's good. So you've got 3 students. Let them interact and share their experiences. Belen, hi, Belen. How are you doing? John Gear, I'm recently having trouble with warming up the class. How can I cope with it? Okay. Is it because the students are perhaps too loud or too noisy? Is it because they're not participating well? I think so. Students and they need structure in the classroom. When they come, so when you're in the classroom, if you lead them in, lead them in. If you wait in the classroom, wait for them to come in, wait for them to calm down. That should be when they come into the class, you tell them, listen, the rules are first calm down, sit down, wait for my instructions. Once they are quiet, then you introduce the activity and then you play the warm up with them. But I think it's very important to start from the right place. The very first couple of minutes of your class are extremely important because those are the minutes where you're kind of going to feel the atmosphere, see how the students are. So you're going to have to start practicing looking at your students and then seeing, okay, what are they like? calm them down. And now, if they are too calm, you're going to raise the energy, you're going to smile, you're going to explain the game. But if they are a little bit difficult, then you're going to slow it down, calm them down, and then get into the warm-up. I think not a lot has been said about how teachers actually control the energy in the classroom and how they learn to spot what students are doing. I think these are like next level teaching tips that nobody talks about. But hopefully, my plan is once I finish this series, I'm going to do some research for 1 year. It's almost like going into teacher training. I'm going to write down all these ideas I have. And hopefully 1 year later, I can release my course with all these advanced teaching techniques that I think will be kind of cool. But yeah, with warming up the class, it depends what the energy is. If it's low, get their energy up. Play a fun game, but make sure you control it. Make sure that you put the students into their groups and they understand what is expected of them. If they are high energy, calm them down, get them to where you want them to be. Right. Okay. Belen, thank you so much for the game, 2 truths and 1 lie. My students loved it on Zoom. Very useful icebreaker. Yeah, that's a really nice one. I like to do that one with my students too. It's really useful because the students get to share their experiences and they get to know each other. What's very useful is make sure that the students write down some ideas first and tell them not to copy. So not to copy your ideas. So when I tell my students my 2 truths and 1 lie, the students kind of do the same thing, but I tell them, no, I want something that's unique to you. Very fun. And then those 2 truths and 1 lie, if you've got a big class, split them into smaller groups to do that together, and that they can see who had the most correct. Bring them back to class, and then you ask them, what is something interesting that you learned from a friend? That's a really good thing that I like about putting students into groups is when they come back, they can share their experiences with each other. For keto, that could help, my dear Erik. Thanks for the advice. I would try to find other ways to help her. Besides that, the stick is always... Yeah, no, my older brother would beat me up if I tried the stick. Gisela, I would go through the basic topics that cover the ones of the exam. Oh, Gisela, so smart. Right, so if you are going to talk about topics, go through the ones that they need to study for the exams anyway. But yeah, get them to share a little bit of their own stories with that. And you can do it in different ways too, through writing, through speaking, and they can learn from each other too. So for example, if someone is, this is actually a fun idea, is let's say you are practicing different topics. You can tell the students to write down like something about that topic, or if they're speaking about the topic, they can, you know, share their experiences, and then let the other students ask the other students, okay, so what did this student say about this or about that? So you can incorporate like almost like a listening and a listening aspect to that too. It's so great if we have adult students, by the way. Iksan, thank you, sir. Liza, sometimes I ask my students at the end of the lesson what they will like to talk about to discuss in the next lesson. So this way I'm working on their ideas. Liza, amazing tip, amazing tip, really good. Right, so basically you're using your students for what they want in the future. What do you guys need? What would you like to talk about? Are these topics okay? So you're constantly working on creating new material and getting new ideas. Very smart, Luza. Nina, what type of warm-up should I use to make teens more excited? They're usually very bored. Nina, yeah, I'm running a bit late with this live stream, so I'm quickly going to share some videos with you that a series that I made. It's got like 50 warm-ups. It's this is the playlist. I'm going to share this, and it's got 50 warm-ups that you can use with the students. It's a playlist. You can go through those. There are some fun ones in there. Ariza, I'm planning to establish my little school soon, thinking about how to make presentations good enough. A lot of people, parents will be there. I feel nervous. Yeah, that's very important, Ariza. Okay. Like parents, like people, when you market, you want to make sure you've got examples of what their students will learn. So perhaps have have some examples of what activities you will be doing in class and what they can expect at the end. They need to have a reason why their students need to go to your class. So you should have like, okay, when they reach this level, they will be able to talk about this. You can give them some examples of what the students will be learning in your class. Why is your school the best thing for them? I think it's a very interesting question. I'd like to talk a little bit more about it, but I'm running late. Sarah, hi Sarah, sorry for the late. Good to be on board. Thank you so much. By the way, guys, like I said, March 20th, we're going to do the Zoom live stream. I will start promoting it during the week. So 3 weeks later, the live stream, it will be near my birthday. So we will do a live stream on Zoom where we will play some games and talk a little bit. It'll be a lot of fun. Zainab, hi. I'm using Bamboozle and Wordwall for kindergarten, but they go with primary students too. Definitely. Arturo, hi from Honduras. Hi, Arturo. Anna, thank you so much for the encouraging words. Of course, Anna. Daniel, tomorrow I start teaching adults. I'm 24. My students are 35. I'm nervous. Any recommendation? Yes. In this case, this is a really fun a place to be in. I would say go in with a different mental attitude. So with this idea of teaching them English, I always say with adults, it's great because they can talk about their experiences. You can go in and say, hi, everyone, I will be teaching you, and I would like to be learning some new things from you. So if you come in there and you say, oh, you guys are already older, you've got all these great ideas, I just want you to teach me and tell me about these things in English because, I'm still very young. I really want to learn about it. So that's how you've got to kind of manipulate them. Oh, I like this word, manipulate. Many people think manipulate is bad, but if it's for a good cause, definitely do that. Is that okay, Mario? Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question correctly. Sarah, thank you so much for your valuable advice. Thank you, Sarah, for joining. Zobede, hi again. Is there a topic, any topic we can ask? Anything, all the time that you want to talk about? But everyone, we have 7-8 minutes left, so you can start putting in your final questions. Oh, we're doing well. We're almost there. Muhammad, hi Muhammad. We're almost finished. Belen, Erik, what do you think is the best to begin a first lesson, an icebreaker, or let the students know your expectations? A little bit of both. So your first class is very important. I started off by telling them a little bit about who I am first. So you have to establish your authority. You're going to say, hi, my name is Erik. I've got a lot of experience teaching English. I'm very good at what I do. And in this class, we will be doing this. And I expect this from you in your class. So already I'm going in, I'm establishing my authority. I'm telling them what we will do in this class. And I'm telling them exactly what I want them to do in this class. In this class, you will participate. You will work in groups. I want you to respect each other. The procedures for this is this. You will write some tests. This is how I will give you your marks. This is how you will get graded. So first off, for the first 10-15 minutes, you're going to be telling them all about the class. You're going to make sure they know that you are the teacher there in a fun way. And I also tell them to think of some questions they want to ask me later, right? So at the start of the class, I say, my name's Erik. All those questions that you have, think about it. You can ask me at the end of class. That way they don't interrupt you either. And then after I introduce everything, maybe I will even practice by asking them some questions, right? About if they understand. So do you understand this? What is this rule? What is this? Then after that, I do an icebreaker where actually these days, all I do is I pair them up by saying, oh, quickly interview your partner. I want you to get to know your partner, something interesting about them. You will tell us about your partner. You will introduce your partner to us. So then they are actually learning a lot about their new friends and partners, and they introduce their partner. Once they are finished, interviewing each other, they come back. Then I ask them to play rock, scissors, paper. The loser will introduce their partner to the class. And then the victor, I just ask a question. Oh, what's your favorite color? What's this? So yeah, basically to answer your question, Belen, establish authority, tell them exactly what your expectations are and what they will do. And then afterwards, play a warm-up, an icebreaker. And then at the end of the class, you can do a quick Q&A. Is that okay? Sujong, thank you for your answer. Then, what is the appropriate ratio between English and mother tongue when learning English in EFL? Oh, this is a question I get asked a lot. First, that's the other video I'm making, using L1 in the classroom. Sujong, only use as much English as possible. That is the rule. Use as much as possible. Only, it depends on their level too. But I only use Korean in the class if I want to make a joke, if I want to quickly teach them something, or if I want to make sure they understand. So I can ask them, oh, what is the Korean for this? So it reinforces and it makes sure that we know what they are doing. So that is the rule. Use as much English as possible, especially your students, because if you give them the finger, they're going to grab the whole arm. If you say, oh, what is that? You can speak a little bit of Korean. They're going to suddenly, because Korean is more comfortable for them, they're going to break down into their native language. You don't want that. So just a little bit of Korean to keep it interesting, to make sure they understand, but then as much English as possible. Be vigilant, guys. Don't let them speak too much of their native language. That is why most schools have the rule, most language schools is 0% native language. I'm not that strict because I can help them much faster if I use a little bit of their native language. For Keto, Daniel, they can be older, but in front of them, you are the teacher. Be confident. Don't get nervous. I wish you a good start. For Keto, I see that that's good advice. That's my advice was to manipulate them, but your advice is to be confident and be strong and lead them, which is also good advice. It all depends on how you play it. To me, is a personalized lesson. It's really important to guide my students through their needs, bit by bit, to open them up to new and reinforce. Very true. Luza, I can already see you're a great teacher. We're going to learn a lot from you. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for being here. I really like these answers that you're giving us. It helps us to think about it too. Yes, guys, very important. You don't want to move too quickly. You want to reinforce what the students are learning before you move on to other things. You want to constantly, and it's great for them too, because if you taught them something a couple of weeks ago or last week, and you are reinforcing it and you're checking, they can feel like, oh, you know what? I remember that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. So then they feel a lot better. Zobade, yes. Can I join your Zoom? Guys, you are all welcome. I will start promoting it during the week. I will send some messages, and then 3 weeks later, let's do it. Last time, I only promoted it like a week in advance. Now I'm going to give you 3 weeks to tell you about it and to get you ready. Yeah, Jaira, good morning from Costa Rica. Hi, Pura Vida. Nice. Okay, guys, we're almost finished. Arturo, could you please recommend me a site to find good games for using by Zoom? Arturo, I've got a playlist of many games that you can play. So it's got everything about Zoom online teaching and and lots of games, lots and lots and lots and lots of games that I've played over these days. And I'm sure I'm going to share some more. So you can check out, I'm going to paste it in there. It's a link to the playlist for Zoom. And just go through the videos. There are many that I did on different games you can check out. And this Tuesday, I will do a video on Word Wall. Give me a fast game for Zoom meeting for people 25 to 70. There are a lot. Just go through that list. I've got many in there. Ariza, my email, guys, I will send it to you a little bit later, Ariza. Ryuk, how long and what ideas do you have for an intro PPT on the first day as an epic teacher? Oh, that's a good question, Ryuk. So an epic teacher is a public school teacher. It's a foreign teacher that came to Korea to teach. I did that for almost 5 years, so I've got a lot of experience. But Ryuk, I'm going to have to answer next time. So please, next week, join in. Just quickly, I would say, introduce yourself to your students. Tell them some interesting things about your country, where you're from, and then play a nice, fun. Ask them to think of some questions they can ask you because they're curious about you. Give them some time to ask you questions. What I do is I ask them questions. I ask them a question. Oh, what's your favorite food? And they ask me a question. And then what you can also do is, play a fun warm-up. I've got a lot of warm-ups you can use. Vinicius, good tips. Thank you. Belen, thank you so much. Fokito, have a nice week. Dear Erik, best wishes. Yes, everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining me. Liza, I always ask my students that if a word they don't know, look at it in English first. Surely they know a synonym for that word. Very smart. Sujong, thank you for joining. Liza, thanks. Love to share knowledge and experience. A true teacher. Ariza, thank you. I'm looking forward to learning more. Zobade, thank you. Anna, thank you. Vinicius, you can have fun with students playing Kahoot. I haven't tried Kahoot, but I'll check it out later. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a lovely week. Good luck with your classes. I will do my first classes too, and next week, I look forward to sharing how it went. Everyone, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.